We are ready, baby. It's week 13 NFL. It's an hour before the last Bellator event of the year. But before we get into fight weekend, we got to make a quick pit stop over to the NFL, and we got to get started. So, Brady, let them know what you got going on. Brady, how you feeling? How you doing? How you looking? Because you're looking like you just got paid to go be on NBC to go do Yanni the Greek segments.
Not with this haircut, man. I need a haircut bad. I've been saying it for a while now. I scheduled it. My person that does my hair got sick, so it's probably another couple days without a haircut. So it's getting bad, but I'm looking forward to this slate. Looking forward to some UFC as well. Saturday should be a fun weekend.
Sharpie, how about you? I know. Last weekend. Can you talk a little bit about last weekend about the the comedy show you went to? Because that was mad funny.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that already. I'm already looking forward to going to see Bob Saget next weekend. But little Brad Williams, I got to see a midget last weekend, so my weekend was better than everybody's freaking night out there. And I got fucking some good pussy, so you can't fucking, hate about that. So now we back on the grind, guys. We got to get to the money because, that type of shit ain't cheap.
I feel you, Sharpie. I feel you. Funny story, man. I ordered food this week, and it wasn't even for me, man. So I definitely do feel you. So let's get straight into this week. First game that we're going to go over is Minnesota versus Detroit. Detroit Lions are 7-point home favorites here. Over under here is 46.5. Obviously, big news in this one here is Dalvin Cook is going to be out for this one. So the main man, Alexander Mattison. On a normal week, Alexander Mattison would be chalk. But as you will see throughout the video, there's a lot of value running backs this week. So we're going to kick it over to Brady, man. Where are you looking at here for this game?
Yeah, it's going to be running backs on both sides. Like you mentioned, no Dalvin Cook, so 7,600 for Madison going against Detroit. I think is a great spot there. And then also the other running back on the other side, I probably like him even more just because of the price tag. So Swift's going to be out. That makes Williams 5,400 against Minnesota. I like both of them. I don't mind playing both of them in the same lineup. If I had to pick between one or the other, it probably would be Williams for like the $2,200 price savings, though. But yeah, those two stick out quite a bit, and I think that's about it for this game.
I feel like the Alexander Mattison play is like the play that should be chalk, but man, there's a lot of good running backs on this slate, man. But Sharpie, man, what are you looking at here from a prop perspective? Because I know you got some talks about some wide receivers here.
Man, when I started breaking this shit down and writing stuff down, I was like, damn, wow. Who has the worst defense here, guys? You would fucking think the Detroit Lions do. But on paper, no. The Vikings are even freaking worse. So, like you guys said, Madison's rushing receiving, guys, over 95.5 on Fanduel is at -114. It's a 10-yard difference on every other fucking book. If you can get that, go smack them for that line correction, guys. You have to. There's a 10-yard difference on that. And like Brady also brought up with Jamal Williams, he's at 85.5 rushing and receiving. Both of these type of backs, I expect to get 5+ catches and their amount on the ground. So why would you want to try to pick which way when they're going to get a full amount of volume work? And then, as Bills was saying about that wide receiver, these books are catching on to us about that wide receiver. He's been plus money every other freaking time until now. Mr. Thielen, I got a Thielen.
That's even.
Man, it's straight up even money to -110 now for Adam Thielen touchdown.
Crazy.
This is why I've always looked. It's hitting at over 80% the last 2 years, guys. When the Vikings are favored, Adam Thielen scores a touchdown. Is what it fucking is, guys. It just happens.
I don't ask
and you play
anymore.
Hey, I play him for first touchdown now too with a little sprinkle, guys, and he hit last time out. So it's like, I love me some Thielen, so we're going to be looking towards that. Even at a -110, that should be at like a -180 with how much he's been hitting as a favorite. So Thielen time.
I like it. Let's go. Actually, before we go over to the next game, my favorite play in this game here is going to be Jamal Williams over 20.5 receiving yards. I think that is a very generous number considering DeAndre Swift's usage in the receiving game. But over to the next game, though, Philadelphia versus the New York Jets here. New York Jets are home underdogs here, 6.5-point underdogs here for the New York Jets here. Me personally, I'm going to break down this game since I have a little bit more of a feel for the hometown team here. Jalen Hurts is definitely on my radar this week, $7,000 on FanDuel, and I mean $7,000 on DK, $8,000 on FanDuel. Also, this is a hot take, man. Take what you want to take with this, but with the shit that fucking man, Jalen Reagor was pulling off last week, to be honest with you, I really think this is a Quez Watkins week, man. That's a dude that nobody's really talking about. Devontae Smith has been kind of going through a rookie slump right now, and Quez Watkins was the preseason darling this year. Had a couple flash weeks early on the season. $3,600, $5,300. I'm telling you, he's going to be 1% owned. That's where I'm going to get my Jalen Hurts stacks this week. And also have a little bit of love for Dallas Goedert, $4,500, $5,800 if you're looking for a tight end this week. Better tight ends on the card this week, but Elijah Moore would be the only other person I would look at, with Corey Davis listed as questionable. But Brady, anything else in this one that you would be looking at?
No, this is going to be a pass for me, but I do want to shout out Jacksonville Zoe in the chat talking about Michigan beating my Buckeyes. That hurts, but yeah, congrats. They got it done.
Your Buckeyes.
Hey, come on. Come on.
Hey, he got pulled off. Oh, man. OHIO.
I was saying congrats. I was being nice about it.
Yeah, good shit, though.
There you go.
Sharpie, from a prop perspective, anything you like here?
Man, let's get into this real quick prop wise. Hurts was limited at practice all week, ankle injury. I gotta think if he plays, you gotta play Hurts right here, guys. 5 straight games of over 50+ rush yards, and they have his rushing prop at 44.5 over there at DK. It's at 48 everywhere else.
Wow.
This guy has been running the fucking ball. The only problem is he healthy or not, guys? And that's something you got to think of. I've been riding this guy every week, so I probably will be on me some Hurts. Like I've been trying to tell everybody, he's now been through a season of football, and he's number 2 to Lamar Jackson in rushing yards in the history of NFL for quarterbacks. Lamar's at 66, 68 this week, guys. We're getting a guy in the 40s. I still don't get it.
And then Sharpie, on top of that, I feel like if you want to flip on the other side of the coin and for your narrative, I feel like, man, if you really think about it, bro, Jalen Hurts is playing for his job, bro. If he does not play good across these next couple of weeks, you don't be surprised if you see Philadelphia go for the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes this offseason.
And then one last thing. They haven't given me the props out yet, but what do we do versus the Eagles, guys? What do we do versus we play tight ends. So we're going to look towards –
bro.
I'm looking at Griffin. I'm going to look towards Griffin, guys. Nope. He had 4 targets last week, second most on the team.
Nope.
And I'm going to expect at least 4 or 5 targets. His catches is going to be at 1.5. His yards will be at like 18.5. Nope. And I'm going to take it, guys, because it's been profitable. And that's what we're about here.
And that's where the line gets drawn, man. We're going into the next game here. Arizona 7.5-point road favorites over the Chicago Bears.
Hey, wait a second. Last time the line got drawn, Mariota scored a fucking touchdown in that game. Oh, stiff on that bitch.
I'm putting good mojo in the air, man. I'm putting good mojo in the air for you, man. I'm not saying I'm playing it. You're playing it. I'm not asking for the mojo. You're getting the mojo. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into the next one, man. Arizona versus Chicago Bears. Woo, child. I don't know if I'm playing this one here. Brady, help us out. We need some Brady DFS here.
Yeah, so I thought about Connor earlier in the week, but he's 5,900. I think is a solid play, but I'd rather just say 500 and get Williams, so I don't see myself going there. I guess the only guy that really stuck out is going to be Darnell Mooney, 5,600. So Robinson is doubtful. If Robinson somehow plays, I'm not going to be interested. But if he's out again, Mooney's been looking phenomenal, and he's actually been outperforming Robinson all year. But since Robinson's been out, he had 20 points against Pittsburgh, 26 points against Baltimore, 20 points against Detroit, 3 20-point performances in a row. I think he does it again here against Arizona if Robinson is out.
Yeah, definitely will give you that, Brady. Sharpie, prop perspective here. Anything you're looking at? Because,
man, Brady just got me to go write down Mooney if there's no Robinson. So I hope everybody who just listened did the same damn thing. And I did what Billy did. I'm on the backwood train.
Backwoods.
I got nothing on this game. This game, I don't know who's gonna be in, who's gonna be out. Like, I'm cool. It's Chicago too. Who knows about that weather? Like, yeah, I'm cool.
Yo, shout outs to the current leader. Pull that comment back up. Shouts to the current leader in the NFL Pub Hub contest right now. My man said, I need a 3-piece and a soda for first place, and Zoe's got it right now. Zoe is on a hot streak right now. Make sure you check in on Sunday, NFL Pub Hub with Jimmy and the boys, because Jacksonville Zoe's back on there again. And right now he's holding down the crown down there in Jacksonville, and that's the only crown that they're going to be holding for a very long time.
Sheesh.
Wow.
That's a shot at Jacksonville, not at Zoe. So let's get to the next game here. Indianapolis Colts, they are 10-point road favorites over the Houston Texans, man. This is a game that we talked about earlier on Wednesday. We got Brady fired up on the Wednesday show, man. We got Brady fired up on a Wednesday show, on a Wednesday night, man. That's what I like to see from my boy Brady. The one dude that I was looking at here in this game was sneakily T.Y. Hilton, $4,400, $5,700. If you're in some large MMEs trying to play 150 lineups or 20 lineups, I would kind of get to some T.Y. Hilton, man. Last week, 4 receptions off of 5 targets, even though it was 28 yards. This seems like a better spot for him. Historically, he's absolutely smashed the Houston Texans. While he is the number 2 in this offense to Michael Pittman, I think there is some merit to be getting to some T.Y. Hilton and some deep GPPs and some game stacks here. Brady, who are you looking at here in this game?
Yeah, I think it's be Jonathan Taylor. I think they're going to run it right up their ass, and he's going to have a really good game. I mean, we talked about on Wednesday, last 2 defenses, Tampa Bay, Buffalo, are just so much better than Houston. I think he smashes here. He hasn't had a bad game since like week 3 was like the last time he's had a bad game. I'm just going to keep rolling with Jonathan Taylor. They only priced him up 100 from last week against Tampa Bay, and now he gets a much better matchup against Houston. So yeah, Jonathan Taylor for me. I'm going to try to get him as many lineups as possible.
Yeah, same for me, Brady, because I think there's going to be lower ownership on Jonathan Taylor than where I'm projecting right now, because so much running back value on the slate and so much running back value that can potentially come on the slate in the later games, that Jonathan Taylor might go a little bit under-owned than what he was supposed to be projected at on Wednesday. But going into a prop perspective here, Sharpie, what are you looking at here?
Oh, I'm looking like I'm high as fuck, and we all talking about the same thing. So, Jonathan Taylor, guys, 9 straight games, 100+ scrimmage yards and a touchdown. Only LaDainian Tomlinson has done that in the history of football. Do you need to hear anything else about that guy? His rush yards are at 104.5 on DK, minus 115, and he's going up against the 31st rush defense, where he already had 145 yards on 14 carries earlier this year. They don't take Jonathan Taylor out whether they're up 30, down 30. They're not going to be down to these freaking clowns. They are, 10-point favorites for a reason. So it's Jonathan Taylor Day, bro, and ride that train. Let's go, Taylor.
Yeah, man. I think it would be interesting, though, to see that maybe if the Indianapolis Colts get up by too much, that Jonathan Taylor gets less usage and they kind of showcase Marlon Mack. But that would be my only concern. Going into the next game, though.
Hey, I got a counter for that return, okay? Last time they played, they whooped them 31-3, and he outnumbered them all like 14. The other ones had 3. So I'm not worried about that. He's getting the bulk.
It's playoff time, though, man. New York Giants, though, versus the Miami Dolphins here. The Miami Dolphins are 6-point favorites. The big talk in this game here is Mike Glennon is going to be the starting quarterback here for the New York Giants. So, man, I haven't seen the Dolphins 6-point favorites. I feel like I had to hit the refresh button because I was reading something wrong. But the over-under here is 40. Pretty low over-under. That's what they're saying about Mike Glennon. Is this a Dolphin smash spot, Brady? Who are you looking at here?
I don't really like a lot in this game. It's such an ugly game, especially with no Jones. I guess the one guy I'm looking at, like you mentioned, the Dolphins are going to be favored. I think they're going to run the ball. And they've actually been giving Gaskin a lot of carries as of recent. He had 16 carries last week, also 2 targets, 2 receptions. Week 11, he had 23 carries. So, yeah, since they are favored, I think they do run the ball, and I think it's a solid matchup. So, for me, it's Gaskin. And then also Jalen Waddle has been looking phenomenal as of late. I think Waddle's good, but the only problem is he's now 6,400, making him the highest priced of the season. But I think both those guys are pretty interesting.
To be honest with you, from a daily fantasy perspective in this game, I don't like the game total and I don't like the game environment. But from a usage standpoint, it's kind of easy to identify the like where the usage is coming from. Like on the Miami side, like you said, the running back situation right now, Myles Gaskin's getting all the carries. $5,800 on DK and $6,400 on Fanduel. I like that price tag. Jalen Waddle, $6,400, $6,900. While that's a price tag raise, to be honest with you, that production is absolutely crazy. You got drafted over the Heisman Trophy winner for a reason, and I absolutely told everybody that over the summer, Sharpie. And Mike Gesicki right now has been absolutely coming into his own. $5,100, $6,000 on FanDuel's Jersey's finest is coming along as well too. On the New York Giants side, their wide receiver core is absolutely depleted, and I think there's merit to playing Darius Slayton in GPPs at $4,600, $5,300. He'll be real low owned. I don't think anybody's going to play Darius Slayton. Sharpie, what are you looking at here from a prop perspective?
Man, I think it's kind of funny how once again we all look at the same thing, but I'm going to get a little deeper into it with Gaskin, guys. His last 4 games, he's averaging 18.25 attempts. You give me fucking anywhere close to 18 attempts versus this 26 versus rush defense that the Giants rush out there every damn game, and Gaskins is smashing that 55.5 yards they got out on him, and it's at even money at Caesars. So that's definitely a play I'm playing. And then with Waddle, they haven't put his receptions out because I think they're so scared of being smacked. His yards are dead on at 63.5. He's so close to that number that I would be looking at his receptions plays or only. And if it's even at a 7.5, I'd still play it with, like you guys said, the usage, that the amount of balls he's seen, and Parker's still not in the lineup. You got to still expect the same thing.
Yeah, Sharpie, I think we're going to stay right there with you here because the next game is going to be the LA Chargers versus Cincinnati Bengals. And you had the best cap that I heard from this game in the market this week. So can we solo screen Sharpie here?
Man, I don't know about solo screen, but we could do it. Here you go, my ladies. Call me later. No, here we go though. Chargers at the Bengals, guys. I talked to my buddy today. He lives in Ohio, so he knows what's going on out there. He calls me and goes, "Hey, Sharpie." I'm like, "What's up, bro?" He goes, "Bro, there's 60% chance of rain out in Cincinnati this Sunday." And he goes, "Fuck that. It's 100%. It's going to pour. People are complaining and bitching about this game because they have good tickets, and now it's going to be shitty-ass weather." He goes, "It's going to be freezing cold and rainy-ass slate." So I'm like, oh, man, let me get into this then. So the Chargers, we already know, 32nd worst rush defense, allowing 135 yards a game. They can't freaking stop a runny nose, guys. Then the Bengals, they're 21st versus the pass. Well, if it's going to be raining and it's going to be cold and wet, that favors a Bengals heavy run heavy team. And I called him, and my question to my buddy was, are they going to keep giving the ball to Mixon 28 to 32 times a game? Because if so, I am betting his attempts at 20.5. And guess what, guys? We're betting his attempts at 20.5. Here and why. 4 games ago, they inserted a new offensive guard to their lineup. Since then, they have become a dominant, run-heavy, and averaging really good rush yards on attempts. So what does that mean? Also, 4 straight games of the same offensive line for the Bengals, which their longest streak all season long. So their offensive line is the healthiest it's been all year. And their running back is used to this load. Since the bye week, like I said, he's had over 28 carries, and this is their game script. So they're going to keep pounding Mixon, and then in a rain script game, his yards are at 88 to 91 yards. I don't want that. I want over 20.5 attempts because I know that's what the Bengals are doing.
Yeah, I don't have anything to add to that. I'm only looking at Joe Mixon here in this game. Brady, how about you?
Yep, perfect. I mean, I was tempted on the Charger side, but like Sharpie's saying, if it's going to rain like 100%, like what's the point of playing a Herbert, playing an Allen? I think Mixon would be the way to go. Austin Eckler also 8,300 could be something to look at, but I think Mixon's probably the clearer piece in this game. And if it's going to rain, probably not a ton of interest in anybody else.
From a betting perspective, we got to stop using the R word because after this Bellator event, I'm betting under 49.5. That's going to be one of my top ticket plays on the card this weekend. But going into the next game here is going to be Tampa Bay versus Atlanta. I think this is a Brady solo screen because he had the best cap on the Tampa Bay side. Brady, you want to talk about what you're doing with this game?
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I mean, you go back to, they played in what week? It was week 2. Tom Brady had 276 yards. He also had 5 touchdowns. So it's a great matchup against Atlanta. Atlanta's defense we know is not great. And then we're going to be missing Brown again. So what I'm going to be doing is last week, I was high on the Buccaneers, not like really high as I am this week, but I was high on them. And Leonard Fournette went out there and put up a 47 piece. I do not expect that to, again. I think it's a great time to pounce back on the Buccaneers offense here. Guys like Chris Godwin, who disappointed a lot of people last week, only scoring 5.7 DraftKings points. I think it is a very good bounce back spot. Like that was his very first game under 10 points in like weeks. So yeah, give me Chris Godwin, especially at a discount. For some reason, they priced him down from 7,000 to 6,600, and it's like the best matchup you can ask for against Atlanta. And then also Rob Gronkowski has a tight end 5,300. They actually did price him up 900 for a very good reason. Gronk's looking good this year. 29 receptions, 378 yards, 4 touchdowns, and he's only been healthy on I think like 4 or 5 games. So yeah, for me, I'm going to stack up Brady, Godwin, Gronk. In terms of running it back, though, that's where it gets interesting. Not a ton of guys stick out, so that's where I'm going to need you, Billy. Any great run back options Atlanta I can look at?
Yeah, man. I'm looking at Kyle Pitts here, man. $5,600, $6,200. Kyle Pitts is going to be the leader here for the Atlanta Falcons. I think there's some sneaky merit here with this 50.5-point over-under. You're definitely going to want to run it back with somebody. Brady was talking about Rob Gronkowski. I think you can get away from some of that ownership and play some Kyle Pitts at the tight end position. But let's get into the next game, though. Before we get to the next game, though, Sharpie, what are you looking at here from a prop perspective? I got a little bit too.
Yeah, man. I got maybe something you might run it back with, and you might think I'm psychotic, bro. But check this out. Matt fucking Ryan. He sucks. But this guy's passing yards is at 252.5, guys. Let me tell you, he's gone up against 4 different bottom 10 pass defenses this year, including the Bucs one time. He has nothing less than 283 all the way up to 343 passing yards. That's 31 plus value in my eyes, guys. It's all about matchups. We know they're not running against Tampa Bay. And every time where he hasn't ran the ball and he just threw the ball, he's hit 283, 336, 343, and 300. 252 is
a pass attempts this year.
It's a gift, guys, at 252 to me in this right here. They're giving me way too much value. So Matt Ryan, baby.
Sharpie, what's the pass attempts on that?
I did not look at his pass attempts, but that's going to maybe something I will look at.
Oh, that's it for you, Sharpie?
Yeah, that was it. Just his yards is what I wrote down because it was such crazy value to me. Every time he's gone up against a bottom 10 defense, he's murdered them pass yards wise.
Yeah, no, I definitely do feel you on that. 49.5 over under here in this next game. Washington is road underdogs versus the Las Vegas Raiders here. They're 1.5-point home favorites here. This is my favorite game in the slate this is my favorite game of the slate this week. Cover boy of the video is going to be Derek Carr this week, man. $6,000 on DK, $7,500. He's going to be the player I'm going to have the most overweight to. Why are you asking? Because Darren Waller is out, and we're going to double stack Derek Carr with his 2 pass catchers. I almost made this man the cover boy of the video. The man that we're going to have circled this week, the dude that we're going to play in all of our lineups, the fucking free square this week, the dude that's going to cash us this anytime touchdown this week at $2,700 on DK, $5,000 on Fanduel. We are going to be playing some Foster Moreau, filled in for Darren Waller last week. He hauled in all 6 targets for 60 yards and a touchdown. Derek Carr loves this man in the red zone. Foster Moreau might not be able to play that full Darren Waller role, but as long as he can haul in 80% of that target share, and then Hunter Renfrow can get the rest, I think Hunter Renfrow is what I'm going to call this week. This might go out on a little bit of a limb. This might be allowed on a little bit of a limb, but Hunter Renfrow is going to be dollar store Cooper Kupp this week at $6,400. I'm going to be all over Hunter Renfrow this week. He's going to absolutely smash against this Washington football team. And then on the Washington football team, big news in the Washington football team. J.D. McKissick, the primetime superstar, is going to be out for this game. So the run back player here, we're going to run it back with the running back here, Antonio Gibson, $5,700, $6,200 on Fanduel. One of my favorite value running back plays of the week. Brady, anything else you're looking here in this game?
No, it's actually pretty weird. I had all 4 of those circled, and you brought up everything I wanted to bring up. So no, I think that's perfect. I think we're on the same page. You got me on Carr on Wednesday a little bit more than I already was, but yeah, Washington has given up the most DraftKings points to opposing quarterbacks. So yeah, I'm going to be double stacking Carr with Renfro and Moreo, and running it back with Gibson at 5,700. That's what I'm going to do this week.
Yeah, we're going to absolutely smash it. And then you know what the best part about that stack is? That stack's cheap as fuck. So that's going to be what's going to get us into this next game. But before we get into the next game, Sharpie, what are you looking at here from a prop perspective?
I was just looking at 2 touchdown props, and you brought up one of them, and I can't believe it's that big of a freaking price tag on freaking Marno, or however the hell you want to say his name. His name's going to be Cash It and Thank You Mama. And then the other way, guys, we're going to look at Logan Thomas at plus 195, guys. He's got touchdowns in 2 out of 4 games. Should have been 3 out of 4. They overturned my fucking touchdown that I had a touchdown prop on last game.
That was
after they called it a touchdown. I already celebrated my money being cashed, god damn it. So it is what it is. Life's a bitch, then you marry one, guys. Just it is what it is. So we're going to look at those 2 touchdown props. And the reason why I was looking at Logan Thomas, Raiders are 23rd in the NFL, allowing 1.8 touchdowns through the air a game. So 2 touchdowns a game. I'll probably also throw another. I'm going to bring up McLaurin, because McLaurin and Thomas are the 2 guys who should and might both score. So
I like it. I actually have McLaurin listed on the list, but it's just that price tag, man. It's just the fucking price tag on McLaurin this week. I just like a lot of his, people at that same exact price tag, especially over there on FanDuel at $7,200, where you definitely need a touchdown to pay off that price tag. But I think the value in this game, we talked about the value stack, so that's going to get us to the big guns here in this LA Rams game. LA Rams 13-point home favorites here over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Brady, what are you looking at here in this LA Rams game?
Yep, it's going to be Cooper Kupp, 9K. They did price him down from last week. Last week he was like 9,600. I don't want to say like he completely busted, but for like Cooper Kupp standards, I think he did 18.6 DraftKings points. I've not seen the ownership yet, but I'm hoping it's low, because I do see myself going up there quite a bit. Like we talked about in the last game, there's so much value on the slate that you can easily go up and get Jonathan Taylor and Cooper Kupp in the same lineup, which I love this week. So yeah, Cooper Kupp for me on the Rams. And that's probably about it. I looked at we talked about some O'Shaughnessy on Wednesday, 2,600, but since Wall is indeed going to be out for the most part, I don't see myself getting there, but he was the other guy that kind of stuck out.
I hate to burst my man's bubble in the chat over there, but you cannot say you want to fade the LA Rams here. This could be the absolute nut game of the week right here. This is one that you're going to have to monitor going into Sunday. There's some big injury news on this slate. If Darrell Henderson were to miss, man, there's one price tag on a running back that the books absolutely fucked up on, DraftKings and FanDuel. $4,300 for Sony Michel, $5,300 on FanDuel. If Darrell Henderson were to miss on Sunday, and we did get Sony Michel, that one primetime football game that we had for the LA Rams when Darrell Henderson went out, Sony Michel was the bell cow back, man, and he's been the bell cow back before. He could be definitely a guy that you want to have on your radar going into Sunday. And then another person that's on the injury list here is going to be Odell Beckham Jr. If he were to miss, we talked about this on last Friday, Van Jefferson Jr., man, he's coming into himself right now, man. $5,200, $5,800. They drafted this dude originally to play the Robert Woods role, and man, a couple injuries and a couple trades later, now he's actually playing the Robert Woods role. So I'm gonna rock with it. I like that price tag. Sharpie, what are you looking at here from a daily fantasy perspective?
Man, shout out to the chat and our guy Birdie. I see you, my guy. Smash the like if you haven't, because I'm going to smash me some BBWs. It's the weekend, baby. And we're not talking about the singer. And it's funny as hell that Brady, once again, pretty much comes up with what I've written down and everything. Get out of my head, bro. We don't even live in the same state. I don't even fucking have your number, bro.
My bad.
No, it's all good. I came up with, I'm only want fucking Cooper fucking Kupp, bro. Like, at the end of the day, his receiving yards is 94.5 receiving yards minus 115. Okay. Every time. Okay, hold on. There's so much written down on this paper. Okay. He's 9-2 to over. He's 9-2 to over 94.5 yards, guys, with both losses being against divisional opponents. So if you take out the 2 division games, he's hit 94.5 9 fucking straight times. Why would I want to bet anything else other than his receiving yards? Oh, why not? Well, his receptions. Guess what, guys? He hasn't hit his reception prop 9 out of 2 times. And every time he's hit over 7.5, which is way juiced up higher than his yards, he's hit his yards. So yards are just a better spot if you're betting props with him. And we're betting props with him.
I like it, Sharpie. Baltimore Ravens versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Shouts to my man Jacksonville Zoe. He gave out his picks for the week. Zoe told me I was a week too early on the Steelers, man. He's rocking with the Steelers here. Home underdogs, 4.5-point home underdogs here against the Baltimore Ravens in a divisional matchup here. Brady, what are you looking at here from a daily fantasy perspective? Anything that popped up on your radar?
No, not really. I mean, Harris is somebody I always look at, but there's guys I like that are, more expensive than him, and then there's guys I like more that are like way cheaper than him. So really, it's nobody. I'm surprised you're not on Freiermuth, man. I think Freiermuth is in a solid spot here. He's 4,200. He's been looking good as well. The Baltimore Ravens have given up the 4th most Draftkings points at tight end. So if anything in this game, it would be Freiermuth.
To be honest with you, fuck the stats in this game. This is an eye test type of thing. And watching that first half of that Cincinnati Bengals versus Pittsburgh Steelers game, Hollywood is about to go catch a touchdown this week. Ooh. He's about to go fucking to the house. He's going to catch a big one. If Jamar Chase is doing it against that Pittsburgh Steelers defense and everybody else's, I think this is about to be a Hollywood Brown week. $7,100, $6,500, and he's on nobody's radar this week. The other dude I was looking at on the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm shocked that you didn't talk about your boy Deontay Johnson, $6,800, $7,200. I'll probably do some deeper research to see if he's going to get Marlon Humphrey coverage, but that's something that is going to be sought out throughout Saturday and Sunday. But Sharpie, what are you looking at here from a prop perspective?
Man, I hope Hollywood catches it for the prop perspective, man. Jackson over 232.5 pass yards. He's averaging 237 a game, and he's hit this number 8 out of 11 games, bro. That's freaking profitable. We want to be profitable.
I like it. I do agree 1,000%. If Baltimore, if the Sharps, I'm not even going to say the people because the people don't make money off of sports betting. If the Sharps
also though,
my bad.
There is no Watt. Watt's got COVID, bro. That's a big deal to me.
I'm just saying, if the Sharps are betting Pittsburgh Steelers, fuck if they're gonna win the game or not. The game might play out closer than what we're projecting, so there could be some merit of having maybe like a mini stack or having somebody in this game. But you never know. But going into the last game of the slate here, this is actually my favorite game of the slate here. 3.5-point road favorites here for the San Francisco 49ers over the Seattle Seahawks. This is going to be the game that I have circled on my board. My favorite tight end of the slate this week is going to be George Kittle, $5,900, $6,300. Without Deebo Samuel in the lineup, George Kittle is going to absolutely smash everything this week. I love me some George Kittle this week. But Brady, what are you looking at here from a daily fantasy perspective?
It's all going to be on the 49ers. From the 49ers defense, I think 3,000. That's the defense I've been going to. I mean, the Seahawks look horrible. They look absolutely awful. 49ers have a solid defense, not the best defense in the world, but just Seattle's offense just looks so bad. So that's kind of the defense I'm going to this week at 3K. And like you mentioned, Kittle's way too cheap, 5,900. No Samuel. And then also another guy that's way too cheap is my man, Brandon Ayuk, a guy I had high hope for this season. It has been Deebo's year, but no Deebo Samuel. I think both Ayuk and Kittle eat. And then also Mitchell is pretty interesting as well at 6K.
It wouldn't be right if we didn't do some deep digging into some things. One dude I have on my radar that I'm going to be playing on GPPs is going to be on the San Francisco side. I think ownership is going to come to Brandon Ayuk. I think Brandon Ayuk is going to be chalked this week. So what are we going to do? We're going to take a little leverage spot, and we're going to go to the number 2 wide receiver. And this is shout-outs to playing for preseason DFS. Jawan Jennings here, it was the wide receiver 3 for the 49ers going into the preseason, and he was getting a lot of buzz in the preseason. And that was the reason why some of the Brandon Ayuk minutes weren't really coming through in the beginning of the year. But $3,100 on FanDuel, $5,300. Another guy that is going to be below 5% 100% ownership that isn't going to be on anybody's radar. I'm going to have some Juwan Jennings in my lineups. And then on the Seattle side, bro, there is no fucking way DK Metcalf does what he did last week. There's no way. 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 I'm going to play it. This might be one of those weeks where you just throw the stats out the window, get a piece of paper, and just crumble it up, throw that shit away. DK Metcalf is going to go off this week. Make sure you play. Sharpie, prop perspective on this one. What are you looking at?
I started digging into some San Francisco shit. You know Mitchell's going to be the bell cow. They got his numbers as the bell cow. And then I started looking into freaking Russell Wilson. This is a must-win game for Seattle. Like, playoff-wise, contention, whatever. I know people are like, they're losing a lot. It doesn't matter. This is a must-win game. And when teams have to must-win and they're at home, they tend to come out like that. And Russell Wilson's rush yards is at 12.5 minus 120 on DK. He's averaging 15 yards a game, and he's hit this number 4 out of freaking 8 times, 50%. Well, guess what? This is a division game where he must win. And this guy is going to do everything he can, including run the ball, and could get us 12.5 on one fucking carry. So go, little midget, go. And get yourself a BJ from Sierra before the game.
You know what's crazy, though, Sharpie? From a betting perspective on the card this week, one common theme that I've been seeing is I'm betting on a lot of teams that have been, I feel like, disappointments this year and are being undervalued by the markets. And Seattle's one of those teams that will probably make my betting card this weekend. I do have Seattle beating the San Francisco 49ers. Brady, is there anything that you're looking at here?
One more thing real quick.
Yes, sir.
I did want to bring up, shout out to our man Noli Knows, but we've been smashing unders against 49ers, anybody who's playing the 49ers tight end. And they have cashed us now 4 straight weeks, and they're cashing quite easily. Fred Warner is doubtful. This is the week I think it's time to lay off, guys. It might be time to look at those tight ends when other people wouldn't look. If Fred Warner ain't playing, that's a big deal to that San Francisco defense, dude. So, and doubtful means you're not playing.
No, that was the only thing I was going to say. It's coming from a 49er fan, so yeah, there's definitely merit to that. Because as playing Daily Fantasy, I don't give a fuck about the defensive injury reports unless it's a cornerback or a defensive lineman. But Brady, is there anything on the slate overall that we missed that you want to go over? If not, who's your favorite play of the slate this week?
No, I think we touched on it all. Favorite play is tough. I'll give a couple because it's hard to pick one. For wide receiver, my favorite play is probably going to be either Chris Godwin or Brandon Ayuk. At the running back position, it's going to be either Jamal Williams or Antonio Gibson. So I'm looking at those guys, and they're all cheap as well. So it allows you to go up and get Cooper Kupp and Jonathan Taylor, which is awesome.
Yeah, I think I'm going to keep it in the same exact theme. My favorite quarterback play of the slate is going to be Derek Carr. My favorite running back play of the slate is going to be potentially Sony Michel if Darrell Henderson were to miss. My favorite wide receiver play of the slate is going to be Hunter Renfrow, and my favorite tight end play of the slate is going to be Foster Moreau.
Let's go.
The favorite play of the slate, baby. I need some money in my pocket, Sharpie. I got the text messages. I got to get Christmas gifts, god damn it. So I need some money.
Shh. Hopefully they don't watch the show. Hey! No, I'm gonna go through my guaranteed bets that I'm betting. I'm betting Taylor's over 104 rush yards, guys. There's no way this guy's not getting 104 yards. And even if the game's not close, I still expect him to have that. So Jonathan Taylor over 104 yards. Then I told myself I can't bet on bad teams, guys, but I'm gonna bet on a bad fucking team. I already told you why. Matt fucking Ryan. We're betting him over 252 pass yards. He's smashed this number every time he's gone up against a bottom 10 pass defense. So I'm getting 31 yards in my favor. So I'm going to bet that one. Probably my favorite bet, Joe Mixon over 20.5. It's at plus 100 on DK, guys. I think he's rushing the ball over 20.5 attempts. That to me is money in the bank. Money in the bank. Shody what you drank. I'll be a rapper later on in life.
I'm a rapper.
And then last play.
Yo, Brady is really nice at rapping though, on some real shit.
Hey, big booty bitches, big booty bitches, big booty bitches, big booty bitches. Oh, I thought you were gonna go. All right. You guys almost got a classic and didn't know it. And then Cup over 94.5 yards, guys. Like I said, 9 out of 2 times we're playing averages. We want money, guys. So all those were really good, solid based average plays, and they're gonna win for us in the long run. So let's get it.
Let's go.
Yeah, shouts to anybody that made it this far into the video. If you made it this far into the video, it's 10 minutes before this Bellator 272 event. This is the last Bellator event of the year. And if you made it this far into the video, you got my betting card for free this week. We're going to go parlays. Alexander Shalby, Kyle Krutschmacher, -113. Alexander Shalby, Jared Scoggins, +102. And then we're going to go for the weekend, Alexander Shalby, Manel Cape, and Brandon Allen at -115. Underdog of the night is going to be Sergio Pettis in the main event, +155. Sergio, we need our money back from Anthony. God damn it. Sergio, come through for us at +155. Your older brother lost us a lot of money this year in the PFL. Round robin order for this weekend is going to go with Alexander Shalby, #1, Kyle Krutschmacher, #2, Kai Kamaka making his Bellator debut, Jared Scoggins, #4, and then #5 is going to be Vinicius de Jesus. And then for the prelims, the round robin is going to be Alexander Shalby, Mike Hamill, and then our boy Spike Carlisle making his Bellator debut. But Brady, what do you have going on for UFC Vegas 44?
Yep, so I'm going live in about 10 minutes here on my channel, DFS by the numbers, and then I'll be going live 1.5 hours prior to when the prelims start. I think the prelims start at 7 as of now, so going to be going live on my channel at 5:30, talking the best bet for each and every fight on the card. And yeah, you can follow me on Twitter, DFS_numbers as well. I'll be posting my bets tomorrow. Kind of a light-ish day, just taking a lot of shots on some dogs. My biggest play is going to be Leonardo Santos, and then next week I'm going all out. I already have 2 pretty big plays for next week.
Yeah, Brady, I wish I had life like you, man, because Black Santa's coming around the corner, and these UFC cards, I need to make some money. Time is of the essence. Sharpie, what do you got going on, Prop Daddy?
Man, I ain't got nothing going on. I used to be prop daddy, and then I started losing all the time. So now I'm a prop junkie, guys. So if you see that needle dripping, that's me. Other than that, guys, have a good weekend. Don't drink and drive. Just get high and stay home.
Hit it.